Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Shio. Today we're going to be watching the 4.6 version trailer. I don't really watch the Genshin live streams anymore. Just doesn't really seem worth it to me. A lot of it is kind of irrelevant and they happen at 8 a.m. here where I live, so I'm not about to get up that early to watch a live stream. I usually do watch the new patch ones, but not huge on watching them in general. But the version trailers, those can be pretty good, especially on patches like 4.6 that look to be pretty full with content. I've heard some really exciting things about this trailer. Sorry if my voice sounds weird. I think I'm a little sick. I woke up feeling a little weird, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, let's just jump straight into it. It's about 5 minutes long, so yeah, let's get into it.
On occasion, we hold barbecue dinners at the house.
That's Arlecchino.
They hunt for food, compete with each other, even cooperate.
She looks
they
cool,
enjoy
dude.
participating in activities like that, and the feeling is mutual. After all, it's always possible certain familiar faces will be missing from
new
the crowd
area?
the next
Is this
time a
from
similar
Muria?
event rolls around.
Something has come up, and since it pertains to Cyrus and
It's
Simon,
my
I deemed it
boy!
essential to
Cyrus,
inform
that's
you all.
his dad.
Was a great
And that was Alhaitham speaking, wasn't it?
shrouded in secrecy.
Is that
We
Cyrus?
all gathered around and celebrated the revival of our Lord.
Oh, is this a Temple of Silence? Hermanubis!
He sent someone to tell me I'm needed for some sort of project.
That's fucking
Project
child.
Participating in the plan will lose a lot of members in the process.
That's
I did
Linny.
not anticipate we would meet again after
Oh my gosh,
presenting the
Neviette.
prognosis.
Where are all these
If you
characters
accept
coming
my
from?
proposal, Monsieur Neverland,
Is it an Arlecchino
it's
story
absolutely
quest?
necessary.
It's probably not
I will no
Sino,
longer
right?
carry out any special missions within the forest.
Oh, that transition was crazy. Oh, she's a one-winged angel, dude. Oh, she's so cool. Her animations are so slick.
Transfixed,
Whoa.
everlasting as the moon.
That's so hard, dude. Okay,
An
Sino
order
again.
once given cannot be rescinded.
Who's this?
Do
A
you
new
have any
character?
idea what
Oh,
you're
hi.
doing? You're hiding the very
It's Linny and
person Father
Fremy.
has been trying to find.
I really didn't mean to drag anyone else
Aw.
into this.
If
He's
Father
innocent,
finds out
Linny.
about this, everyone involved is going to
Stop.
be punished.
Who is that?
Sino was chosen.
I can't wait for more
He was
Sino
not the only
content.
one.
One of my faves.
Likely
My
to
number
return
2.
my power.
Actually, Sino and
Really
Kazuo are
looking forward
like
to
tied
this
for
line of
number 1.
duels.
That's
The
that
wisdom
character,
of
I guess.
Hermanubis would have been ours.
The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been
I
ours.
want you to become the
What does
next
that mean?
king of the house. Yet you seem to have different ideas.
Is she talking to Linny
I'm not saying I
there?
have all the answers, but
Yep.
doing so will only bring us further away from
Oh,
being a real family.
my god, is it
Your
the
words
fucking,
paint an
the triplets are
optimistic picture indeed.
gonna fight her?
Allow me
That's
to
so
remind you,
cool.
however,
Few among us are willing to sip from a glass filled with tainted water.
I'll
Okay.
make sure it's drained of all impurities and returned to its cleanest form.
There's so much
Good
audio
things
happening right
come to
now.
Children who do as they're told.
Oh my god,
So I
look
do
at her.
hope you decide to tag along.
She's like a flying spider
There are
made of
many
blood.
dangers ahead, and I, for one, don't intend to back down.
I don't want to disobey an order from Father.
So why?
Whoa, that
Why
animation was
have you
cool.
backed us into a corner?
No demonstration. of
Oh,
loyalty
she looks so
shall
cool.
go unrewarded,
Whoa, she's like an
and
Ava
no
angel.
sacrifice shall be in vain.
Ooh, nice musical sting. Oh, cool version art. Why is she grabbing me? Get away from me, Arlecchino.
Behold the majesty of the rock and roll king of Hanamisaka!
What a contrast. Another Ito event, huh?
Rock and roll, bull chucker.
They love Ito.
Oh, Paimon's bringing it all right.
Oh, Paimon's bringing it, alright. Ito. Free Goro! Oh my gosh. Is that our first Inazuma 4-star given for free? That's actually much needed. I do not have C6 Goro. That's really nice. And a horn, a new instrument. Interesting, okay. So it's like a music event and a picture taking event, it looks like. Okay. I mean, there's some people that really like the loot in this game, so I'm happy y'all get another toy to play with. Oh, Wind Trace is back. Oh, there's a new thing in Wind Trace. My hot take is that I don't really like Wind Trace. I don't find it very fun. And every time they do it, they add like weird new gimmicks that I don't think have ever helped make it more fun. I've always just liked straight up Wind Trace. Oh, another combat event. Okay, Vibro Crystal isn't bad. I do just kind of prefer the combat events that are kind of not as gimmicky, but specially shaped Saurian search. What's a Saurian? Saurian. It's like a dinosaurian. I'm expecting, I mean, I was gonna say I'm expecting some sort of, oh, there's Arlecchino's weapon. I think I saw in the animations it turns into a scythe, right? That's very cool. I wonder if other weapons she holds will turn into a scythe as well, or just that one. Okay, version trailer done. We're gonna look through them a little bit, and so we can keep talking about it. Okay, let's make our way through it with no, well, we can have audio. I'll just put the audio down a little. So first thing I want to talk about is let me turn the captions off, there is definitely some sort of new area, huh? This seems like an underwater area. There's a really cool looking, like prehistoric looking thing. I also saw one that was above the water somewhere for like a couple of seconds. So I think I've heard that there's a new area coming, but the fact that they haven't focused on it like at all is really crazy to me. There it is. Oops, where is it? Backwards or forwards? Let's just watch.
Project Stuja?
Yeah, that's definitely Child's voice. Here we go. Okay, so this looks like it's definitely above ground because this looks like Sumeru back here, and this has the Fontaine mountain structure. This looks like a proper little village. The only Fontaine settlement we're missing that has been spoken about by NPCs and characters and stuff is Petrichor. So I wonder if this is Petrichor. But I wonder what the other place that we saw before is like, because this is definitely all underwater stuff.
After all,
so I wonder if it's under Petrichor? I'm calling it Petrichor, I don't really know if it is. So that's interesting. New area. I feel like they did not focus on the new area at all in this trailer, which is really interesting. Usually, you know, Genshin is an exploration game. They like to focus on the new areas, but maybe there's a lot of mystery to it. One thing I was trying to figure out during the Sino shots was if this story quest is going to take place in a new area in Sumeru or something, because they've been teasing Beta Harbor for a while. Characters have been saying that in voice lines and stuff, and I always wonder if they've been saving that for something. This whole area here, I believe, is new. I'm assuming this is the Temple of Silence. For those of you who don't know, Sino has got a lot of lore that's not currently explored in the game, including where he got his powers from. He has the spirit of something called the Hermanubis, which the other character, whose name is Sethos, I saw the announcement for his VA. Sethos said that, and so yeah, Sino's got like a dead god living in him. That's what gives him his powers, and he has these ties to this thing called the Temple of Silence, which is either a physical location like this, like an actual temple, or it's like a sect of the academia. I've always been a little confused on what exactly Temple of Silence is referring to, but this is definitely a place we have not seen in game, because this looks like a mini Deshret's mausoleum in the background. Which is really interesting. So I wonder if this is going to be a new area, like overworld area, or if this is going to be a domain. I kind of hope it's not a domain, because I want to be able to go here and take pictures with Sino, my favorite boy, but maybe not. There's also a new world boss, it looks like. It looks like the Tree Sentinel from Elden Ring, which is fun. Yeah, or like a Lionel or something. It's a centaur. This looks very cool. This is Remuria, I'm assuming. I don't really know, but also I have a feeling it is. Which is interesting. I'm wondering where this is going to be physically located. Given the nature of this underwaterness, it's so deep down, I'm kind of assuming it's going to be its own separate map, like Enkanomiya and the Chasm, which are also underwater/underground settlements, and Remuria is said to be underground, I believe. So I'm assuming it'll be a separate map. Maybe the entrance of which will be kind of like in Kanomiya on Watatsumi. Maybe that'll be in Petrichor or something. But these are all assumptions, because I have no idea. Okay, they actually did focus on the new area a little more than I gave them credit for before.
We will meet again after presenting you with the Gnosis.
This is interesting. It looks like these knights with this sort of stone armor are going to be a theme in Remuria. Are these the Lock Knights, maybe? God, I have to reread the Remuria lore. It's been a few months since I dug into it. But this is definitely a door with some sort of force field on it, which is interesting. I wonder what's behind there. I also wonder if this new area is going to have a magic tree or pool or various other things. You know, we've had those in every area recently where you collect collectibles in the exploration and then there's a thing that gives you rewards. Chen Yubei had it recently.
Accept my proposal, monsieur.
Wow, this looks cool. So these look like the whale, obviously. The primordial sea whale that we fight as a world boss. And this purpley color down here does give me primordial seawater vibes. Does Remus and Remuria have ties to the primordial sea? I'm trying to remember. I feel like they probably do. They're also lower down than Fontaine geographically, which would make sense because they have a closer proximity to the primordial sea. I'm excited for Remuria lore. Remuria is always like... I feel like Genshin is always really good at having lore about past civilizations that are like no longer around. That's why I think Sumeru is just so good, because it's so full of lore about Deshret, the goddess of flowers, and Rukkhadevata, like that trio. All of their past civilizations and stuff. I always find that's like some of my most favorite lore in Genshin. So I'm excited to visit yet another long dead civilization and find out about their lore. Also, like in Kanomiya, I don't think I need to explain it, but obviously in Kanomiya lore is incredible, and that's another long dead civ. Then we have footage of Arlecchino's boss fight. Oh no, this is just Arlecchino's kit. I will be reacting to her teaser and demo whenever those come out, so stick around on the channel if you're interested. We then jump back into Sino, and we see a new character here. He looks cool. His color scheme is very similar to Sino. I wonder if he's also going to be... So he says at some point, Sethos says, the wisdom of the Hermanubis could have been ours, which kind of implies that maybe he was expecting to share the power of Hermanubis with Sino, but maybe Sino took it for himself. Or Sethos wanted to do something different with the power of Hermanubis, something that could give him wisdom as opposed to power. Which is really interesting. I really, really hope that this character is like intimately tied to Sino and Sino's lore and his backstory, because obviously Sino is like my favorite character, tied with Kazuha, as I said before, and I just feel like his lore is like there on paper, but we've never really gotten to explore it much. So I'm really hoping there's more to it and to him, because there's a lot of juicy stuff there that could be explored. So there's a lot of Linny siblings here in this. I'm assuming this is all Arlecchino story quest stuff. Because it didn't say anything about an interlude quest or another Archon quest or anything. So I'm assuming the Arlecchino boss fight comes from her story quest, but I really don't know. Here we go.
Return my power.
So Sino says, "Would you like me to return my power?" Probably speaking to Sethos.
I'm really looking forward to this rite of duels. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been ours.
And then Sethos said, "I'm really looking forward to this rite of duels. The wisdom of Hermanubis could have been ours, or would have been ours." Obviously, all of this dialogue is like spliced up. It's not necessarily all happening in the same scene, because that's how Genshin likes to do these trailers. They just put a bunch of different dialogue in there that's kind of nonsensical. But interesting. Yeah, he has such a similar color scheme to Sino. I find that really intriguing. There's also people sitting up here. You see that? I guess it's literally a rite of duels. This is also a cutscene, so this is going to be the final thing that happens in Sino's Story Quest 2. Yeah, so they're dueling maybe for the power of Hermanubis. So maybe Sethos is a challenger to Sino's, position. Yeah, this is really very intriguing to me. I think Cyno's story quest is definitely the part I'm looking forward to most in 4.6. And I'm excited for Sethos as well. So I'm definitely going to be playing Cyno's story quest 2 on the channel. Look out for that pretty much as soon as 4.6 drops, so in a couple weeks. And I'm also probably going to be doing Arlecchino's story quest, especially if the boss fight is tied to that, because it includes the Linny triplets, who I love, and obviously Arlecchino, who I love. And speaking of, a really interesting scene here where Arlecchino is fighting her orphan children. Look at it. They're all fighting her.
But doing so will only bring us further away from being a real family.
Which is really interesting. And that line by Linny, doing so will only paint us farther from being a real family. It's like Arlecchino's going against her sort of position as their parent. And Linny's like very heartbroken about that, it seems, which is really intriguing. Obviously they call her father, but we never really gotten the sense. I'm trying to think back to all of their voice lines. Have we ever gotten the sense that they genuinely consider her to be like their parent? I guess she does like run the orphanage they grew up in, but I always figured she was more of like a boss to them. Maybe I'm wrong.
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed. Allow me to remind
God,
you,
Nuviet, your caption box is so large. Okay. Also, interestingly, assuming this is the arena for the boss fight, it looks like it's in the overworld, kind of like the wolf boss, Boreas, which would be intriguing. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it looks like that's the way they've designed it. Obviously, I kind of don't want to see a lot of the actual boss fight because I kind of want to go into it as blind as I can be. But that's kind of it. The rest is just events and stuff. Oh, there is new artifacts. Did I even say that? Okay, looking at this immediately, this top one, Unfinished Reverie, is giving me Natlin vibes. If Natlin is based off of like Mesoamerica, am I saying that right? Mesoamerica? Why does it sound wrong in my head? Well, if it is, this is giving me vibes, so I'm really excited to read the lore for this set, if this is going to be our very first Natlin lore ever. I'm also interested because obviously we're in the later 4.0 cycles now, or 4.x cycles, and usually they like to start drip feeding some information about the next nation, but obviously Natlin is kind of unique. I'm going to start and make it play while I'm speaking. Obviously Natlin is pretty unique because we haven't gotten like any lore on it, and a lot of the common theories about it is because there's some sort of reason, right? It's not because Hoyo it's not like they forgot about Natlin, but rather there's some sort of in-game lore reason why Natlin might not have a presence outside of its own nation. So if that set is from Natlin, it'll be literally like our very first lore about it ever. And I'm wondering, because that happened in Sumeru as well, we got an artifact set that gave us a lot of the foundational information about Fontaine's lore that ended up kind of being a bit of a spoiler for the whole Archon quest. Obviously no one realized that at first, but looking back on it, it kind of was, which is really, really cool. And I'm wondering if they're going to start doing that more with Natlin, because I'm looking at this, specially shaped Saurian search. I don't know what a Saurian is, and I'm wondering if that's Natlin lore, because I don't think I've ever seen this word in game before. But then again, you know, we never saw the term vibro crystal before this event first ran, so I don't know. Really interesting. I'm also definitely curious. I am speaking a little too much, so I'll try and end the video soon, but I'm also definitely curious why we're even getting a Cyno story quest 2. Obviously, I think it's necessary and deserved because Cyno needs more lore, but from like a game design point of view, I wonder if they're trying to bring us back to Sumeru because we're going to go to Natlin through Sumeru as opposed to through Fontaine. So they're kind of like reminding us of Sumeru so we can, you know, think about it. Because in a couple patches we'll have to go back to get to Natlin. I don't want to see this. That's really interesting. Okay, well, there's a lot in this patch to explore, so let's talk about what my plan of attack is going to be once it drops, how I'm going to get all the content done for you guys on the channel. One thing I should say right off the bat is that this patch is dropping right at the tail end of my final season of my last year of university. So I'm going to be a little slow. I'm currently being really slow with content. I'm sorry. Some of my content is a little less impressive than it has been in the past. I'm just absolutely swamped right now with schoolwork. Yeah, that's it. You're just gonna have to deal with it because this is more important. So I'm gonna try and get as much done as I can. Luckily, when I do story quest playthroughs, they don't take a huge amount of editing because I like to keep everything in because it's a story quest. It feels weird to cut out any of the story. So I'll do Sino and I'll do Arlecchino. I'm probably going to film Arlecchino's first, just so I have access to the boss fight, so I can start, farming the materials, which are going to be used by every character for the next 6 months or so. And then I'm going to do the Sino one, but I'm probably going to post the Sino one first, because I have a reputation on this channel as being a Sino enthusiast. So I feel like I have to do that first. But I will be doing the Arlecchino one as well. And we'll also do an exploration video for the new area, if there is a new area, which I think there is. So yeah, look forward to a Sino story quest playthrough, an Arlecchino story quest playthrough. I know that there's a few story quests I still haven't gotten to, Navia, Shenyun, and Chiori, and Linny, and I will try and get those done as well in the next couple of months. And then we'll do a Remoria exploration video, and it wasn't in this video, but they also released what the banners are going to be, and there is a Baiju banner, so I might also do a pulling video for Baiju because I do want him, unless Sethos ends up becoming a Sino support. I did just make a video recently called How I Would Design Genshin's Missing Characters, in which I designed a dedicated Sino support. Sethos doesn't look Dendro to me, he looks Electro or Geo, but I mean, they could do an Electro support for Sino, maybe. It could work, especially if it's just like a straight up Electro damage buffer. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff in 4.6 that I can make content out of, so if you're interested in any of that, please do stick around on the channel. Subscribe, obviously, to catch those videos as soon as possible. And if you enjoyed this, I'd really appreciate a like and a comment as well. That's it. That's it for me. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Later.